Yo, what is cracking, everybody? Good morning. Welcome back to another live session. Got my coffee with my heavy cream. Today I wanted to hop on and talk about something. So one of my clients sent me a Reddit thread. I normally don't go on Reddit at all. I don't even know how to navigate Reddit. I'm just going to be totally honest. One of my clients and friends just sent me a Reddit thread last night about how the POTS community is being taken advantage of by POTS creators. And he said, I think that this might be due to your content. LOL. So I want to kind of read through this a little bit and talk to you guys about it, because I think it's quite hilarious. Actually, it's quite hilarious. I don't know what this means either. It's like at the bottom there's 168 ups. Is that likes? I don't know. It says there's an up arrow and then there's 168 and then there's a down arrow. I don't know what that means, but I'm going to wait for people to hop on here. I'm going to wait for people to hop on the chat, hop on the live. Like this video if you are on. Once we do that, then we're going to get after it. We're going to get after this Reddit thread. Maybe I should name this something else, like reviewing POTS Reddit. Yeah, reviewing POTS, negative POTS Reddit thread. If you guys are watching this, remember, hit that like so I know when to start talking about the topic at hand. I want to deliver some valuables today. Some valuables on mindset and POTS, and how I think that the POTS community online is ruining your chances at getting better. Erica, I didn't. I got one. Another client sent me the Reddit thread because he thought it was about me, and I think that it might be about me. We changed it. How POTS communities are ruining your health. No, hardly famous. Hardly famous. We're almost at 1,000 subs though. That's freaking dope. That's cool. I talked yesterday about that is one goal that I am chasing. That's one goal I really am chasing, is to get to 1,000 subs. We're almost there. I didn't realize that you could post like statuses on YouTube. Wow. I just did it. That's sick. That's really cool. All right, we're just gonna wait for a couple more people to come in, and then we're gonna review this Reddit thread. I think when they say if you got haters, you're doing something right. I think this is true. I invite the hate. I like the hate. Hate shows me how weak other people are. I would never hate on somebody else for doing something that I think could benefit people or that might be positive. Because what's the alternative, right? If people are being positive online and giving people hope, what's the alternative to that? It's negativity. It's no hope. It's stuff like that. So I think it's insane. This community is crazy. Thanks, Erica. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. She's been thriving. Erica almost ran a mile the other day. All right. We're still we're still navigating this space of when and how to go live. So I think like 10 a.m. is actually the best time for me to go live. A lot of my people seem to be across the world, not in the United States. So I don't know. We'll get there. We'll figure this out. I think YouTube gives me those analytics actually. Wait just a couple more minutes. YouTube, in fact, does give me those analytics. It says right now is a crappy time. That's okay. That's all right. All right, we're just gonna get into this now. My thing doesn't give me a proper read on when people are active anyway, for the most part. All right, so this is what the Reddit thread says. I don't know how this starts. I don't know if this is called the title of it, but basically at the top of it, it says, let's see if it will focus. I could screen share, but I don't really feel like doing that right now. Anyway, the topic is profiting off desperate, chronically ill people. This is basically a pointless rant because this is not going to change anything, but I am sick of people profiting off of and scamming chronically ill people. I cannot even tell you how many scams people have going surrounding POTS telling you that they can cure you. It's really sick. There's even people that used to have POTS and have experienced some type of remission or are living a lot better now that use their past experience of POTS to charge desperate and suffering people. We're going to touch on that sentence specifically quite a bit. It's actually crazy and so dystopian that we have literal Potsies scamming other Potsies. They say they have something revolutionary and then it's just the same crap doctors spout off to you. I just can't believe it when I see it. And it's so sad to see people falling for the scams because they are desperate. I understand that feeling all too well. I have not been chronically ill my whole life, so I was completely oblivious and ignorant to how evil people can be when it comes to health. Absolutely insane. All right. There's a couple of things here to address, right? Specifically when it comes to me, I want to say, I've never claimed to have the answer for POTS syndrome. I've never claimed that I can cure people. I've only been very sure and certain that I can help people based off of data. Based off of data. I have never, ever taken on a job that I don't have experience with in my life. So, for example, I first started helping people with POTS because I got over POTS. I did it myself. My first client ever, my first ever POTS client came to me because he saw my content and he was desperate and he needed help. And I felt really bad for him. And I told him and I told his parents, I don't know if I can help him, but what I do know is I can help get him more fit and I can be there to be a motivator for him, right? And so we worked out this deal. I helped him. He went from being a teenager who was basically like immobile, who couldn't do anything, to being somebody who's thriving in real life. I remember the first time that he told me he got out of the house and went and did something. He went to the mall and he was he lives in a hot state and he was so worried about going outside. And we got him to go outside. Do you know how good that feels for me as somebody who's guiding somebody else to that gets their life back this much? If I can help somebody get their life back this much, I'm happy and that's a win. Not to mention how happy that person was, how happy their family was, that they got their son back, that their son got a portion of his life back. And I'm not saying that's because of me at all. I tell every single one of my clients, no matter if they tell me that I changed their lives, I saved their life, whatever, I tell every single one of them, it's not me, it's you. I only gave you the tools that I know of. I only gave you the tools that I know of. You took it and you ran with it. I gave you the information. I put the programming together, but you did it. You did it. I give all the credit to the people who actually put in the work, because I could sit here and for 896 subscribers that are on my YouTube channel right now, you have all the information. You have all the information. It's all on my YouTube channel. However, 99.9999998 of you will not do it by yourself. 99.99998 will not do it. And the people that I work with, they get all the credit because they did it. They went and did it. I just told them what worked for me. I tell them what I think works, what I think the root causes are, what I think. I don't have I never talk with over assurance or, that I know everything. I never speak like that. But I tell them what's worked for me and what's worked for other clients. And depending on their situation, we come up with different plans. I don't have a cure-all. I couldn't write down a cure-all. I couldn't write something down on a notepad and be like, this is for sure going to cure your chronic illness. I couldn't do that. All I know how to do is what I know how to do. And it's based off of experience. It's based off of I don't even know how many POTS people I've worked with now, but it's based off of that. It's based off of how many people that I've worked with. Even people that used to have POTS and have experienced some type of remission or are living a lot better now, they use their past experience of POTS to charge desperate and suffering people. My question to you morons is, what would be the alternative? What would be the alternative? Is it give your information away for free? Is it, I work in I have a business. I have a family. I have two businesses technically, and I have a family. So what's the alternative? That I get on phone calls with probably 20 people requesting my time a day, that I get on a 30-minute call for 20 minutes with 20 people a day via email, comments, or DMs, that I get on that many calls per day to answer everybody's questions for free? Is that the alternative? No. I run a business. I have a family. I have 2-3 businesses, whatever you want to call them, right? I have 2 to 3 businesses, plus I have a family, plus I have a life, and I do training myself. I work out myself. So I should just give my time away for free? Is that the alternative? Is that what should happen? I don't think so, pal. That's just not how this works. And mind you, I already give all the information away for free. I give an hour of my day, basically every day, away for free with these lives. I give an hour of my day. I'm just going to keep it a buck. My hour is worth $100 plus. My hour is worth $100 plus. With POTS clients, I actually trim down my fee a lot because I genuinely care about helping people, but I have to get paid for my time. I have to. I'm a busy person. If I'm going to use any of my time to do anything else besides my business that, is in person or my podcast that, I get paid from both of those. If I'm going to use any of my time, I have to get paid. I can't do it for free. If I'm going to do charity, I'm going to go do charity. I'm going to go work somewhere. I'm going to go do some community service or something like that if I'm going to do something for free. But that's not an option for me. My hourly rate in the gym is minimum $100 an hour. At maximum, it's hundreds of dollars an hour. And that's not to brag or to say anything like crazy. That's just to show I can't do this stuff for free. I cannot give my advice out for free. I literally can't afford to. And this is a good point, Erica. Are doctors free? No. So why should he be free? That's exactly my point. That's exactly my point. Doctors, you pay for it. Some people don't look at it that way because they have good insurance via their parents or their work or they're on state insurance or whatever. So they think that these things are free, not realizing your medical bills are like stacking up and you're going to pay for it somehow. So you either pay somebody who's not $100 or your doctor visit is probably around $200 to $300 for the hour or for the 10 minutes rather that you're there, right? But insurance takes away a bunch of that. You have a deductible. So at some point, you're not really paying for the doctor, but initially you are. You are paying for these treatments. You are paying for this stuff. If you see a functional medicine doctor, you're paying out of pocket probably somewhere between $250 to $400, for the visit, the initial visit at least. And then from there, you might not pay as much. But yeah, dude, you pay for things in life. You have to pay for things in life, especially when you are trying to get somebody's experience. But hey, if you don't want to pay me and you feel uncomfortable with that, you think that I'm a scam artist, go on my YouTube channel, watch all of my YouTube videos. It's all free. What you're paying for with me is experience. And for the shortcut, right? Because I will put the pieces of the puzzle together for you. I will gather data from you. I will ask you questions. And then I'll put it together for you. That's what you're paying for. You are paying for the experience. It's the same thing. It's like saying, why would anybody pay for a personal trainer? What a scam. It's because they don't want to think. I pay for a coach every month. I pay $300. Transparency. I pay $300 for a coach every month. When I had a nutritionist, I paid $150 on top of that per month. I pay for subscriptions every single month via groceries, Element, basically everything is automated in my life, right? But I pay for the convenience and for the experience. I'm no dummy to that. I'm not oblivious to what I'm paying for. But some people just think that because they're suffering and because the world's so unfair that everything should be free. Dude, sorry, but that's not how the world works, and you better start operating in reality. I think really what the problem is that these people get jealous of other people, or they get upset because they're not willing to take that step yet, or they don't know how to take that step. They don't know how to afford it. And hey, that's okay. But again, if you don't want to pay me, if you don't want to pay somebody else, you don't want to go to the doctor, the information is free online. Figure it out. My YouTube channel, I implore you, if you don't want to work with me right away, use all the information that I gave out. Put the pieces of the puzzle together. I promise you, there's a bunch of people that I've gotten DMs from or comments or emails that said that they watched my videos and they created plans. You can do it too. But if you want somebody to help you, that's what I'm here for. It's not feeding off of people or taking advantage of people when you truly want to help people, but you also want to get paid for your time. That's ridiculous to think. That's literally like saying any service is taking advantage of somebody because they're hitting a weak point. They're hitting it like a pain point. When you go to a restaurant, you're hungry. That's your pain point when you go to a restaurant. So are the waiters or the waitresses taking advantage of you when they offer you dessert at the end of it because they know that you're hungry and you might want some sweets? No, it's simple math. They're probably going to want dessert. This is just so stupid. It's because it's people's health that people, and to be honest with you, it's because it's I can't stay long because I want to enjoy the weather. Justin spends more time with his clients than a doctor spends with you. I'm sad that people might have written this about you. Thanks, Erica. It's okay. And hey, enjoy the weather because it's nice here in Wisconsin. I'm using this Reddit thread as an opportunity to talk about the victim mindset and the mentality of POTS people. I welcome the hate. I'll welcome any sort of criticisms that come my way, because I think that if you're operating from a place of good, you're operating from a place of good ethics and morals. I mean, dude, you can't be defeated. No weapon against me shall prosper, right? Because I'm operating from a genuine place. That's what it really is. When you operate from genuity, I don't know. When you're being genuine and you're operating from a good place, you have nothing to feel guilty about. I don't feel guilty about anything that I've done. I don't feel any sort of way because I'm helping people. I have all the testimonies to prove that. I've never had one client who has like complained about the services or about paying for what I've given them. Never once. So these people are just, they want to sulk in their crap. And to be honest with you, it reeks of jealousy that people are being helped and they're not. It reeks of jealousy. It reeks of jealousy. Like my client Mike posted on it that, you know, it seems it's really easy to get angry about other people doing things that you can't do or that you haven't been able to do yet. It's really easy to do that. And guess what? I did that too. But there has to come a point where you fight that mindset, where you fight that negative urge to call other people out on things that you want to be doing just because you feel bad. Just because you feel a feeling doesn't make it valid, right? Or just because you feel a feeling doesn't make the reason for it valid. Rather, the feeling is valid, but you have to figure out what the true reason for it is. Let's dive deeper into this. They say they have something revolutionary and it's just the same crap doctors spout off to you. I've never claimed to have anything revolutionary. I've never claimed to have a system that's crazy that works. I do have a system that I believe works for the majority. Because you guys, I mean, in medicine, in fitness, diet, all this stuff, there's always systems in place. There's strength progressions in fitness that you know work for the majority of the population. There are diets, or at least approaches to diet, that you know are going to work for the majority of the population. Let's talk about the carnivore diet real quick. It's a poor example, kind of, but it's a good enough example. The carnivore diet works for a couple reasons for people when it comes to weight loss. Let's not talk about the autoimmunity stuff. Let's not talk about mitochondrial health. Let's not talk about any of the scientific stuff. Let's just talk about the simple reason why the carnivore diet works for health to get this point across, or for weight loss. Because you're eliminating hyper-processed foods. That's it. You eliminate a bunch of food groups, so by default, you're in a caloric deficit for most people. That's why the carnivore diet works. That's why keto works. That's why the blue zone diet works. That's why all these diet works. Now, if you want to talk about health, we can get into that at a different point because there's different, reasons why some of these might be better for some people's health and not. But the simple reason why it works for weight loss is because you eliminate food groups, and just by default, you're eliminating calories. Caloric deficit is you need a caloric deficit to lose weight, period. There's some people that might have some weird metabolic dysfunction or something like that, not in the way that people think where their metabolism destroyed because of under eating and stuff, different reasons due to micronutrient profiles and things of that nature, but it works because of a lack of calories. That's the reason why. Now, that's a system, right? That is a system, and the system is caloric deficit. There are systems in place for everything, right? So the thing that I do with my online community and my online program, the one that anybody can follow, I have a system. I have a system that I've used, and it works for the majority of people. Now, there are some POTS people where the system has to be tailored a little bit. That's absolutely true. And that's why I offer the one-on-one online coaching so we can go deeper into your situation. But there are systems in place and they do work for the majority of people. Same thing in medicine. Like with diabetes, there is a system, right? There's a system that works for the majority of people. Are there going to be the exceptions to the rule where certain, rules don't apply? Absolutely. But that doesn't mean that you do that for the masses. You can't make systems and make choices dependent on the exceptions to the rule. That never works. It never works. And you can't help people at large by thinking that way. Calorie deficits help my POTS a ton, makes it so much easier to withstand exercise. I actually do believe that too. I noticed that when I was going through POTS, that the time that I was thriving the most, except for now, was when I was in a slight caloric deficit for an extended period of time. And why might that be? Well, there's a lot of stuff on caloric deficits and extended periods or prolonged caloric deficits and their effects on autoimmunity, mitochondrial health, all this different stuff, right? There's even people that used to have POTS and have experienced some type of remission or are living a lot better now that use their past experiences. So my question to that too is, in life with people who are trying to help other people or people who are offering services, where do you see that people don't use their past experiences in order to help or in order to get the job done? Which field is that not true? In what field of life, what professional field is that not true, that people aren't using their past experiences? If you go to a doctor, they're using their past experience because you go in and they're using anecdote. I've seen this before. Okay, this is my past experience. This is how I'm going to treat this patient. Where do you not see that? Where do you not see that? In any job, you use past experiences to do your job. That's just such an asinine thing to say. And you know, the POTS community is so negative, dude. It's so negative. And this is exactly why I started my online community that you can get for free for 7 days. Just send me an email or send me a DM on Instagram at JQFitLife, and I will send you the link to sign up for free for 7 days to be part of the forum, the online community that we only talk about positive things that come with POTS and exercise and health and all that stuff. The only way that you can talk about your symptoms is if you're talking about it in a positive light, like I overcame it because of this or whatever. Let's read more comments. Yeah, so check this out. This comment I really like. Hold on. I'm going to read the chat real quick. Yep. Been trying to get back to the gym. I used to be a gym rat, but I really got sick. My main goal now is to hopefully go into remission someday. Dwelling on my illness will never help me. What's your opinion on CHOPS? Yeah, so this is something that you hit the nail on the head. Dwelling on your illness will never help you. That's exactly it. That's exactly the point that I tried to make in almost every single live. It's like you have two choices when you have chronic illness. And it's crazy because the strongest people that I've seen with this opinion or this approach have been people with cancer, stage 4 cancer. It's like they already know what's going down. They know what their imminent future is, right? But do they dwell on it? The majority of people that I've seen with stage 4 cancer, they take a different approach to how they're viewing this, how they view their scenario, their condition, because they're like, if I dwell on it, it's just going to give me anxiety and make me feel depressed and sad and stuff. It's not beneficial to the situation. So I'm going to enjoy and squeeze the juice out of the rest of this life, you know? And with the POTS community, you can see it with a bunch of the content creators and the people online. I don't go on Reddit ever. My client, again, sent me this, and I'm happy that he did actually so I can address some of this. But the POTS community is so detrimental to itself because all they do is talk about their symptoms, what happened at the doctor's office, that they went to the emergency room, and people feed off of each other's negativity. It's misery loves company 101. That's what the POTS community does. And then because one person felt some sort of symptoms and this is what it turned out to be, then the next person who sees that, they feel that symptom a week later and they're like, oh my gosh, I know this person online that said this. So now I got to go get checked. And it's like, there's so many people with POTS that are in and out of doctor's office all the time just because of what they see online. But you've had that symptom before. And now all you're doing is you're dwelling on the illness, on the sickness, and it's just a negative mindset in a spiral all the way down. And that doesn't help. Like, what is the alternative to being positive? It's being negative. And which would you rather prefer? What light of life would you rather live in? I would rather live in the positive. Like, things can change. Things will change. Now, that doesn't mean that it's going to happen overnight. That doesn't mean it's going to happen next week. That doesn't mean it's going to happen next month, next year, 6 months from now, whatever, next year, 10 years from now. But if you're constantly thinking about it getting positive, the likelihood of positive results is a lot higher than if your thinking is negative. It just is. It just is. And when you spend time on these Reddit threads and on these Facebook groups where they're always negative and they're talking about going to the hospital and the doctors did this to me, blah, 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 blah. You know, like there's some of these content creators that are like, doctors always gaslight. And that might be true, but why are you creating content on it? Why are you focusing so much on it? And like, it's the same reason that people love dramas, you know, drama TV shows. People just love the drama. Positivity almost never works. Almost never works. And that's what my goal is to change that. I don't care if my community is a lot smaller. Like some of these creators on Instagram have 70K viewers and stuff. And I just started my POTS Instagram. It's called POTS Fit with 2 T's at the end. I just started it, but my whole thing is bringing positive vibes and positive light to the POTS community, to the chronic illness community, to the health community in general, overall, because even if the community is smaller, it'll be stronger. Even if the community is smaller, it'll be stronger. Positivity, God, always, always, always trumps negativity. You can feel it, man. You can feel it when somebody's got a positive mindset and they're vibrating on a higher level. You can feel that, and it feels so much better than the negative. Like you attract so many things, so many people, so many other people in that realm, dude. Like it feels so much better. And when you're negative, it's like you don't even want to be around people. You want to just sulk, and you want confirmation bias. Lobster Squid says, yep, been trying to get back to the gym. I read that one. What's your opinion on CHOP? So I'm going to agree. I'm going to hit that real quick. CHOP, I made a video on the CHOPS protocol, the Levine protocol. I don't like it. There's like a bunch of reasons why I don't like it. But I believe that if you can't afford coaching from one of the positive POTS coaches, right? Like the POTS coach on Instagram, she seems to be doing really good stuff. Or me, to be honest with you, I only know of her and I. And if you don't have the funds or you don't have a way to pay, I think CHOPS is a really good way to like start getting your fitness back. I don't like it because there's not a lot of individuality. It doesn't give you options for where you're at with your conditioning. So for example, what I've seen is my people who have an athletic background versus don't typically have an easier time at progressing certain exercises faster, or progressing or making aerobic conditioning progressions a lot faster. And I'm not going to hold them back a lot of times. Sometimes they want to push too hard, so I'll pull them back from that. But if somebody's able to make certain progressions that I didn't think that they were able to, I'll let them do that. The other thing is that a majority of the exercises on the CHOPS protocol, I think this is the big thing that they are missing. The big, like the thing that they've just like missed the ship on is that they're doing a lot of prone exercises. The body's really good at making adaptations on, you know, different planes and different planes of movement, different ways of moving. And so I think that if you keep somebody in a prone position for a long time, like you've seen this with people on bed rest, right? You keep people in prone positions or in certain positions, that's what their body's going to get used to. Now, the body doesn't really know how to make the circulation happen, make the blood flow happen when you decide to stand up. So my approach to it is taking people through ranges of motion that they haven't been through in a long time to make those adaptations. So I don't love the CHOPS protocol, but I think if that's your option that you need to go with, it's better than nothing. It's for sure better than nothing. But there's I don't know. I think that it was developed by doctors, right? And so like doctors, even physical therapists, they don't have a good, I think who the programs should be developed by is like a team of like a doctor, maybe a PT. I don't really know why PT has any place in the POTS community, to be honest with you, but maybe, or an electrophysiologist, I think would be the right person, or a neurologist, and then an exercise phys, like an exercise scientist. I think that that would be the team that should really put this together. You guys, if you're watching this, if you're on this live, please hit that like button. It helps push us up in the algorithm. It helps us help more people. We're almost to 900 subs. We've been gaining, and it's really good. It's just more positive comments, more people getting helped, more people, you know, in the positive light, that want a positive mindset. And that's what I want to grow, is a community of positive people. The more that we can get those people around, the better all of us are going to do. You guys are going to thrive more because you're going to be around more positive people in the chat, or if you join my community, you're going to be around more people that are positive, and everyone's going to thrive. That's just what happens, man. It starts small. People say one person or a small group can't make a huge, massive impact, but over time, it makes a huge impact. Over time, it makes a huge impact. The vibration of it just makes ripples through space and time. Been saying this, had POTS for years and didn't get diagnosed till October. Was I depressed about it at first? Yes, but I want to live better than this. Hey, man, you already started on the right track then. You already started on the right track. We need more positivity and more encouragement to heal and treat it the best we can. It's facts. It sounds like the negativity in POTS communities make you upset or annoyed. Is that true? And if so, has the negativity in POTS communities negatively affected you personally? No, I'm not impacted by it at all. What I'm impacted by, okay, I guess that might sound bad. That might be wrong. I'm not bothered by it whatsoever because I don't pay attention to it. I got sent this Reddit thread. I never go on Reddit. I can probably count on one hand the amount of times in my life I've been on Reddit. My client sent me this Reddit thread and said he thought that this is about me because it was like right after my live, and it seems to be, you know, some of the stuff that I do. It's eerily similar to the stuff that I do. Has it affected me negatively or personally? No, because I am the person, like I keep preaching, get around positivity, figure out solutions to your problems. So I never went on these. I didn't even know that they existed, to be honest with you, until another client of mine told me about these Facebook communities. I was like, whoa, that sounds really negative. You need to get off of that, because I never knew it existed. I didn't even know that this many people had POTS. It was COVID that like made me realize that more and more people were getting POTS. No, it doesn't affect me. What bothers me is that I have clients and I have people that I help, and a lot of people reach out to me for help, but then they get derailed by this type of community. They get derailed and they have more doctor visits, more hospital visits because they get, OCD about this, or they get anxious about all the things that they're reading and stuff. And then they think that they have all these health problems that aren't related to POTS now because they felt a heart palpitation that they felt 6 months before. But this time it's different. This time that heart palpitation is different, so I need to go to the hospital. So that's what bothers me, is when I'm trying to help people and when people truly need to be helped. People really in this community need to be helped, but they can't because they can't get away from this stuff. That's what bothers me. But no, I'm very hard-headed. You could ask my girlfriend about that. So it's really, it's hard to bother me with anything. Mick Saltsy, I'm personally sick of hearing the negativity. It didn't help me progress. It just made me worse. Like that was my only option. Oh, I have POTS now. This is my life. When in fact it's not. Dude, exactly. And you can go on a lot of these creators' pages, and now I'm starting to go on more creators' pages, to be honest with you, because I'm ripping their content off. For Instagram, I am stealing their content because it's negative, and I'm trying to turn it into positive content. For example, the reel that I'm about to drop today is, I'll give you guys the insight to it, but it's like this typing sound. And then the girl goes on the thing. She goes, when the doctor gaslights you and tells you that your symptoms aren't real or whatever, so you go, or tells you your blood work is within normal range, so you go online to see if it's what other conditions you have now because your blood work is in the normal range. It's like, what, dude? So like again, it's the focus on negativity. So what I'm doing, I took that and I go, POTS people WebMDing or Googling their symptoms. And then it flashes to my computer and it goes, stop Googling your symptoms, start dealing with them. Because I want to start shedding more positivity on this. I want to shed more light. I want to show you can deal with this stuff. Like, stop listening to people that are doomsday and aren't willing, because what this is, it's people who aren't willing to actually go the distance and figure out what they can do to help themselves. It's always, I'm going to keep it G, it's always overweight people. It's always people who have a victim mindset. In every one of these creators' bios on their Instagrams and stuff, it says something about OCD, PTSD, ADHD, depression, whatever, some sort of mental health issue. It's always people that take the victim mindset. Now, mental health is real. I've dealt with mental health in my life for sure. However, I would never put it as a poster online because I want to focus on the positive. If I'm depressed, I get out of bed. I go walk outside. I do the things that I know are going to help. But there's so many people that just want to sulk in their stuff because they're not willing to do, like, I always say, it must not suck that bad if you're not willing to do everything possible to fix it. It must not suck that bad. And so I think some of these people thrive off of the attention that they get for, exploiting themselves and other people with POTS and, knowing that there's other people that can relate to them or whatever. But as I said yesterday, I don't want to relate to you. I don't want to. I think this is so overrated, being relatable online. I don't want to be relatable. If I was relatable, people wouldn't comment on my stuff and be like, you're an inspiration. You've helped me do this. You've helped me do that. People wouldn't do that. And I'm not saying that I want to be an inspiration or anything like that, but I definitely don't want to add to your problem. I want to be somebody that can help your issue. I don't want to relate to you. I want to be healthy. I want you to look at me and be like, wow, that's somebody that made it out of the mud. I can make it out of the mud too. That's what I want. I don't need to relate to you. My story of how I came up and like how I was sick and stuff before, that's relatable. But right now, I don't want to be that way again. I don't want to be there. Why would I want to relate? These people want to relate. They want attention. They want the woe is me. They want the community of people. I'm sure a portion of it is they felt so alone until they found other people suffering too. So they're trying to relate to the people suffering. But the thing is like, if you keep focusing on that, you're not going to be willing to put in the work to get better. And then because when you get better, then people are going to be like, ooh, boo, boo, all this negative stuff. That's what the issue is. It's the same with mental health community too. I have horrible issues, but dang. It's like no one wants help. They just want to be, relatable. There you go. I want help and advice with it. I want people to emphasize that our issues are not who we are. I don't want it to define me. I want to be me to the fullest. The negativity is not meant to define us. Oh, dude, yes. Dude, Lobster Squid, you are hitting every nail on the head today. You're really doing it. You're really doing it. Yeah, this is the other thing is people so often identify with their issues rather than there's these issues that I deal with, but they are not me, right? That's one of the things that they say about intrusive thoughts, right? With OCD is your thoughts are not you. Your thoughts are not you. This is how you help somebody with intrusive thoughts. Like people get guilt over like thoughts that they have, right? They get guilt, but it's just a thought. You didn't act on it. It's not something that you did. So it's not you, right? And with your POTS syndrome, you didn't choose to have POTS. You didn't choose to have it. You may have done things up to that point. I'll be honest with you, like taking too much ephedra or something like that and, really beat down your nervous system that added to it, but you didn't choose to have it. So you don't have to identify it. You can choose to identify with I'm healthy, I'm thriving, I'm happy and work towards that. But the thing is you get to choose what you identify with. And your illness, your chronic illness for sure should not be what you identify with. It should not be who you are. It's what you have. It's what you deal with. I've been saying this for years, but it's so controversial. I don't think it's controversial at all. It's just we're in a time, unfortunately, where you have to be so sensitive to everybody. and everything. Like, you can't even talk about you and how you would rather operate without people getting upset and taking it personal. But it has nothing to do with them. But they take it personal anyway because that's not how they would deal with it. It's like, I'm not talking about how you would deal with something. I'm talking about how I deal with it. You don't have to agree. But I don't have to agree with you. I sure as hell don't have to agree with you. And I don't have to be quiet because I don't agree with you. I think the content you talk about has a time and place. It made me feel normal. It helped me deal with my feelings that were the same as them. It was helpful then, and now I can focus on the positive. I mean, yeah, just let me push back a little bit on that, though. This doesn't have to be me, but say you found a content creator in the beginning that talked about their entire experience and talked about, I was sick and this is how I felt. And you found comfort in that people, like, you found relatability there, right? And you found that they were relatable when they were sick, and wow, they went through everything that I went through. But then you see their content that's current and it's like, they're positive, they're thriving, there's stuff like that. Wouldn't that be the better creator to be, not even creator? Wouldn't that be the person that you would kind of want to like relate to more, that you'd want to look to more, is the person who can relate to you in the sense that, like, hey, I felt like crap. I had major fatigue, all this stuff, but hey, there's a way out. There's a way out. So I personally, I would disagree. I don't think that there is a time and place for that. I think that, and not that there's not a time and place for it. I just don't think that they think that way. I don't think that those creators think that way. I don't think that they think, hey, this is what I'm going to do now and I'm going to work on getting better. I think that is what they are. A majority of them. I think that is what they are. Because you even look at some of their pages and, dude, I hate to like be like this, right? I hate to be like this. But some of these creators are like, I'm unhealthy. The doctors are gaslighting me. The doctors say, I'm not going to get better. I know that, blah, 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 blah. And you scroll on their page and you see that they're like eating donuts. And they openly talk about when you eat the foods that trigger you. But they eat them anyway. It's like, no, you're choosing this. You're choosing this. It's not that you're not even trying to help. You're literally choosing to feel sick. You're choosing to feel like, for me, again, I'm going to repeat myself. It must not suck that bad if you're not willing to do everything. I eat the same food every day. I can tell you what I have. In the morning, 2 chicken sausages, 4 hard-boiled eggs, sourdough toast, honey, and salt on everything. I drink one of these with an element immediately upon waking. I have a coffee that I sip from probably 7:30 until 10:30 every single day. The next meal that I have, it might be one of those perfect peanut butter bars. And those actually, for some reason, mess with me a little bit. It's just like the quickest calories that I can get. I need to stop eating those. But I'm telling you what I eat on a daily basis. Perfect peanut butter bar, right? And then I'll work out. And then after that, I have 200 grams of beef, either 90-10 or 85-15, depending on what's available. I have 250 to 300 grams of rice, honey, salt. After that, the next meal that I'll have one of those date bars, the RX bars. After that, I have dinner. It's usually a ribeye steak, or it's, again, 200 grams of beef. By the way, cheese is on the beef always. 1 slice. I have a ribeye steak or 200 grams of beef, again, honey, cheese. And then I have a sweet potato cut up, put on the grill. I drizzle honey and I do salt. Before bed, I have a smoothie. It has milk, frozen banana, frozen mango, honey, a little bit of heavy whip, heavy cream, blend it up, and I drink it. It's the same thing every single day. I'm choosing to be healthy. Does it get boring? Yeah, but I'm willing to do anything so that I feel good all the time and not just sometimes. Do I have cheat meals here and there? Do I choose to put myself at risk? Yes, I do. I know the consequences, but I know how to deal with them. But it's these people who want you to believe that poor me, I'm always sick. And I'm so bad and the doctors are gaslighting me and the doctors are this and everyone doesn't understand. But you're choosing it. You're showing that you're actively choosing to be sick. You said on your thing when you eat foods that you know trigger you anyway. You're choosing it. You actively chose. You actively chose. You can help that. You don't have to eat that food. It gives you temporary enjoyment. That's the society that we live in, though, is instant gratification. And it's glorified. And it's said that you should be chasing it. You go, girl. You go, guy. Sleep with 50 women. Sleep with whatever guy you want. Instant gratification. You know, do the easy things because that makes you feel happy. Long term, none of that stuff makes you feel happy. They're always saying, do the stuff that makes you feel happy. Make sure you live life on happy mode. The things that make you happy right now, most times don't actually make you happy. They give you a dopamine spike. That's what's so wrong with society now. They tell you to do things that make you happy, and it doesn't make you happy, dude. It doesn't make you happy, dude. Like discipline, I see this right here, this word on the chat. Self-discipline is the highest form of self-love, and it gives you so much more happiness. Why? Because you can trust yourself. Because you get results from being disciplined. You can trust yourself to make the right decisions. I guarantee you're more happy when you feel good for a week than you are happy when you eat that donut that's going to make you feel like crap for 24 hours. I never hear anyone talk about this. I'm glad you are. Some people need to hear it even if it hurts their feelings. Yeah, dude. I mean, look, a good friend, I truly believe this, and I have a podcast too that I run, and we talked about this last week when I was in New Jersey. A good friend will tell you the truth regardless of how you feel about it. A good friend will tell you that. And when I keep in mind when I'm making content that I want to be a good friend because I want to help people. I want to help people, so I want to be a good friend. And the way that I would be a good friend to myself is by telling me the truth. So when I'm doing these lives, I'm also talking to me. You know, I'm not just talking to you guys. I'm talking to me, and I'm trying to tell the truth because that's what I would want to hear. And if you guys don't want to hear it, you don't have to be here. It's that simple. My pot specialist has POTS herself, heavily emphasizes symptom management based on the person. That is what everyone needs to be hearing. She tells me to put my feelings toward being above my illness. That's facts. Discipline is the biggest thing for me personally. It's a mindset change worth working toward. I'm a 24-year-old girl, and most of them my age just sulk. I hate that for them. Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I said, misery loves company, right? And it's a lot more. Look, I'm gonna keep it G too. I'm gonna keep it a buck, right? Doing the work is difficult. Doing the work is hard. It's not easy, and it's frustrating, and it sucks, and there are days that feel like hell. And people don't like that. People don't like to be uncomfortable. We're creatures of habit. We're creatures of comfort, or we've become creatures of comfort. And people want to stay comfortable. People want to be comfortable. But the fact is that growth doesn't happen there. You know, like when I want 14-inch like if my biceps are 14 inches, I want them 15 inches. It's not going to happen by doing the same thing week to week to week to week to week. Maybe the same exercise, but I'm going to have to hit it harder. I'm going to have to do more reps. I'm going to have to go heavier. I'm going to have to do drop sets. I'm going to have to do so many different things, right? It's growth happens in discomfort. And for some reason with chronic illness, we don't think about that, you know? There's a doctor that I follow that says aging is the disease of comfort or something like that. I forget what it is, but it's like you retire because you're done working. You don't want to work anymore. And then a lot of people get like a vacation home. Eventually they get sick and depressed, and actually retirement, I think it's like the average age of death goes down as you retire or something like that. Like you're more likely to die sooner after you retire. Like death comes faster. And that's because you're just comfortable. You just do whatever. You start drinking, you lay on the beach, like you get complacent. But people who like get jobs after they retire, they start working out more and stuff, tend to live longer. And it's because they've sought out the discomfort. Like they're actively working on something. I love freaking Yeti. I can't believe that I have been that I get to sip coffee from like 7:30 until 10:30 and it's still hot. I can't believe that. Lobster squid. You seem like somebody that could really get along in our community or our forum. Hit me up on Instagram at JQFitLife. I'm going to put it in the chat. I'm going to give you a link to join our community, our forum for free for 7 days. Just, come in, talk to the people, see if you like it. There's no strings attached. It is going to have you plug in like a card, but you can cancel it at 7 days. And if it doesn't let you cancel or whatever, hit me up again. I'll cancel it. I'll refund you. But yeah, that's just for some reason my app. That's the only way that lets you commit to it or get in. Hit me up and we're gonna plug you in. I want you to see the stuff that we do in there. I think a lot of the time they're unknowingly addicted to the sense of community, even if it's all negative and sad. I'm not sure how to explain it, LL, but yeah, I think they just don't want to lose that. Yeah, no, and that's a good point. That's a really good point. Yeah, they community is everything, and I keep saying that community is everything, but community can change your life trajectory, right? That's why church is so big. That's why CrossFit is so big. The community aspect, because you get to suffer with other people in a community setting. But community is what, like we are, people talk about this idea of introvert and extrovert, but everybody wants a sense of community. I promise you that. That's why the introverted people go on things like Reddit and Facebook forums and stuff like that. And they go on YouTube and they find people that they can relate to, because everybody needs to relate to somebody. And for some people, online is social hour for them. And that's totally fine. But the point is, community is everything. And if you can find especially people that can, give you confirmation bias and what's it called? That can give you confirmation bias and make you feel comfortable, even if it's negative, that's where you're going to end up. Hey, I got POTS, but is it normal to feel fatigued even though my blood pressure is normal? Yeah, because the fatigue doesn't come from necessarily the blood pressure. Your blood pressure stuff doesn't necessarily come from that. It's like systemic fatigue, right? It's your autonomic nervous system. So systemic fatigue, it's not just because of blood pressure or heart rate or anything like that. But what I would say is that if you're not exercising yet, a lot of my clients, what I have them do when they have crashes is I have them go do zone 2 cardio or some sort of movement. So like recumbent bike or treadmill. And that's what really helps them out of that fatigue state. I truly believe that conditioning is a big part of the equation here. The fatigue is usually because your body is working harder than a typical healthy person's would. I think I agree with that to a point, but then when you start making your body work, which is harder than it's working without working out, when you start making it work out, your body makes adaptations, and it's really, really good at that. And your nervous system makes adaptations too. And so I think that if you're able to get yourself active and you're able to get yourself to get to a higher activity level again, that the fatigue does go away. I've seen this so many times. And again, this doesn't look like, you have to go in the gym and you have to crush it. You have to kill it. A lot of my clients, we start with step counts, and step counts. It's funny because everyone always questions me. It's like, well, I don't know if I can get outside and go for a walk, but that's not really what I'm talking about. Like your steps could be like, if I prescribe or if I suggest 2,000 steps a day to somebody, that could literally mean you just getting out of bed and walking to your fridge and back a bunch of times in the day. I started working out. Thank God it has changed my energy, and that's all thanks to your videos, which motivated me. I appreciate that, dude. Thank you. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Would you rather be taught like following people who are just sulking in the negative and stuff, or do you want to like look, Adam, I don't know if you have watched my videos and you've taken the advice and you've put a plan together based on the videos and the advice, but this is what I'm saying. The information is free. I give out the information for free. I started this by talking about a Reddit thread that somebody sent me that they thought was about me. And this is it right here. Prime example. You see the videos, you go and do the things that you need to do. Look at the at. Wow, here we go. Here we go. Dude, this makes me happy, man. Wow. The cardio is a huge part of recovery for me. By cardio, I mean step counts, rowing in short bursts, recovery by rest, and repeating, slowly progressing. Dude, yes, Mick. I don't know if you watch my videos, but that's exactly what I preach. See, the information is free. The information is, put it together yourself. Put the pieces of the puzzle together. If you don't want a coach, put the stuff together. It's out there. That's freaking awesome. Adam, I couldn't even do 1,000 steps before, but now I can do 7 to 8K steps a day. And yes, I actually listened. That's freaking awesome, dude. That's awesome. You guys, this is what I have. This is what I want in my POTS community forum. And I have it online. Can you guys please text me or hit me up on Instagram, JQ Fit Life. I'm going to put it in the chat again. Please hit me up on Instagram, and I'm going to send you guys the link to join the community. It's free for 7 days. I may try to find, like, there's also a workout program included with it for people that are just starting with POTS and stuff. It's based off of cardio, conditioning, stuff like that. You guys can try that for 7 days for free if you want. Oh my. Well, Adam, send me a DM, dude. Send me a DM because this is exactly what we need right here. We need this in the chat, in the forum, so there's more positive people. Like, I just want to like collect people like this. It sounds weird, but I want to collect positive people. Adam, I just put up my Instagram in the chat, JQ Fit Life. And Mike, how many freaking how many profiles do you have? And which one are you posting YouTube on so we can shout it out right now? Mick. What type of POTS do you have? I have neuropathic, and I know there's different types, so wondering if that has an impact on the exercise. So check this out, Veronica. I have no idea. I got diagnosed with POTS years ago. Before there was communities of POTS, back when the umbrella, I don't know why people, this is how not up to date with the community stuff I am. I didn't know that people are now saying POTS is an umbrella term, because the umbrella term used to be dysautonomia, and POTS was a subsect of dysautonomia. So when you say you have neuropathic, I looked that up the other day. It doesn't seem any different. I looked up neuropathic autonomia, or POTS. I did some reading on it. It doesn't seem to be any different from like stuff that I've dealt with before, or people that I've, trained before. But yeah, I don't think that it has an impact on exercise. Trust me, I have worked with people with far worse symptoms than that. All right, so anybody that's in the chat right now, go subscribe to Mick_SaltZ. He's one of my clients. His name is Mike, and we work together. And what I thought would be super interesting is if he started content during his journey, because it's something that I heavily regret not doing. But I didn't know that there was any community of this when I was going through it. So he's going to post content on his journey through. He's going to post content on his journey through POTS and what we're doing working together, and show you guys the progression. I think that that's going to be freaking awesome. And a lot of you guys should go follow him. So go subscribe to Mick_Saltz. He's in the chat. Go subscribe to him so you guys can follow his journey. I'm going to hold him accountable to be posting content. Another thing about the POTS community is viewers convincing themselves they have POTS pursue only that as a diagnosis and not considering it could be possibly other things. And creators being like, yeah, you may have POTS after reading one comment of someone said. Yeah, here's the other thing is that, Adam, awesome. I'll get to it when I get off of live. I'll send you the stuff. But yeah, what I think is like interesting too is like, a lot of people with POTS have no trust for doctors, and I can understand why. By the way, if you guys are watching this, you haven't liked the video yet, please like the video. It helps push the algo. That's all I'm going to say. But then the people who have POTS act like they're doctors, and they want to diagnose everybody with POTS. And it could be, but it also could not be. It likely, just because you have the same, there's so many illnesses and sicknesses that have the same symptoms. There's so many. COVID, you get a fever. The flu, you get a fever. Mono, you can get a fever. So every time somebody gets a fever, are you going to say that they have one of those? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense. But again, misery loves company. They want more people to sulk. Yep. Imagine my steps was 17K a month. Now I'm hitting 190K a month now. Dude, that is sick. That's good. Wow. Adam, that's dope, dude. That's really dope. Good for you, man. That's really cool. Veronica, they think mine is autoimmune related. They meaning my doctor. Could be. I don't know. There's like a few different theories of POTS, right? For different people. Viral, autoimmune. How do you feel about hot yoga? I went and enjoyed it, but was hesitant. I'm cool with hot yoga. I did hot yoga for a long time. Yeah. I do sauna sessions almost daily. 174 to 180 degrees, 20 minutes. So I think yoga is, as an exercise modality, I think it's really good. I actually did the 200-hour certification after getting diagnosed with POTS syndrome. Yeah, I think it's good. Here's a little tidbit of POTS syndrome, and because people always ask me, are the modalities different? If it's autoimmune or if it's not, or if it's viral or if it, whatever. I tend to treat every single, I tend to train and give advice to every single person that I, have with POTS the same way. And what I mean by that is I always talk about diet intervention. I always talk about supplementation. I always talk about getting your blood work done. I always talk about conditioning and eventually getting to weightlifting. Always. Because I think that all those all-encompassing, no matter what you're going through, are going to have an effect. We know that diet has an effect on autoimmunity. We know that for sure. So I think that figuring out what foods trigger you and figuring out what foods make you have flare-ups is super important. That's probably the autoimmune component. Figuring out what tolerance level of exercise you have right now and building off of that. That also has something to do with autoimmunity. Making sure that you're staying up to date on blood work. What's your homocysteine at? What are your B vitamins at? What level of vitamin D do you have? Is your white blood cell count high? Stuff like that. Those are all things that you should be privy to when you're dealing with a chronic illness, not just POTS. Mine checked my thyroid, blood echo checked for WPW, which can kill you because I have. Yeah, I think where the problem comes in with the gaslighting thing is this. They only want to be checked for POTS. Yeah, that's true. I mean, your doctor should always do his due diligence, but your doctor, you guys, we've done such a good job at demonizing doctors. And I think that doctors only have so much time with you. I'm just going to keep it real, right? Doctors only have so much time with you. So they try to get you in and out, and it's not their fault. It's a problem with the system that they work under. It's not the doctor's fault, right? You can find really good functional medicine doctors, but then there's also functional medicine doctors that are quacks and they want to rip you off and they just want to make money off of you. But Western medicine, it's not that the doctors are terrible or bad. It's that the system that they work under is crazy. My girlfriend's a PA in the hospital. She's a hospitalist. They are so overworked. And even before COVID and stuff, they were overworked. And, the system is such that it's a money suck. So you need to make money. Like you have to, it's a business at the end of the day, regardless of what you guys want to think or not, it's a business and they need to make money. And that sucks. That really sucks. But that's where you can go to like concierge medicine and stuff where the doctors actually spend a half hour to an hour with you, but you pay for it. You pay for what you want. You pay for what you get. And, so it's not necessarily that it's the doctor's fault. And I think where the gaslighting comes in, where what people think is gaslighting, right, is that doctors are like, it's anxiety. But like for sure, a part of POTS is anxiety. So am I gaslighting because I can acknowledge that? Am I gaslighting myself? I don't think so. And, I want to make a whole video on this too, the truth about anxiety and POTS syndrome, because there is largely an anxiety portion to POTS that people with POTS don't want to acknowledge because they just want confirmation that something's wrong with them. But the two can be true. They both can be true. Something can be wrong with you and you can have anxiety over that. And you can have anxiety which exacerbates what's wrong with you. That can be true. And I think that the doctors do a really poor job at explaining that. But it's because of their limited time. And POTS, whether we want to admit it or not, is really new. Like when I got diagnosed with POTS, almost no doctor knew what this was. And it's not that POTS is new. It's that the onset of it and the amount of people being diagnosed with it and the volume of people with it is really new. That is so new. People, like, this wasn't a thing, Some do suck, but if they're at least making an effort to do testing and monitor symptoms with lifestyle changes, they're not gaslighting you. They're not just gonna hand you a diagnosis just because that part. And I think that everybody just wants confirmation that something's wrong with them when they feel something wrong. And that's where the anxiety portion comes in. You guys, I'm gonna put the link for, is today Wednesday? Yeah. I'm going to put the link for the community in the chat right now, actually. So, like I said, yes. Here you go. You guys click that link. That's going to take you to the community. It's going to have you plug in a card for sure, but you can cancel at any time. You don't have to pay for it. If for some reason you do get charged at the end of the 7 days and you don't want to be in the community or whatever your thing is, just hit me up. I'll refund you. I just want people to be in the community and to see. I might try to make a way so that the forum is free, but the program is not. I might try to figure out how to do that. But for now, it's going to have you plug in a card, go join the community, start talking about your story, but be positive. There's no negativity. Read the rules. of the forum, if you start talking about your symptoms in a negative light and how woe is me and, I feel bad today and blah, blah, and you're not talking about how you're getting over your symptoms, you're not, being positive about it, we will kick you out. And I'm holding everybody accountable to hold me accountable to that. So any of the members, at me, say this person's not following the guidelines, boot them, and we're just booting them. Probably a 3-strike system because people can mess up, and I get that. But yeah, suggestion on how to date with a chronic illness. Like, would you want to know right away that the girl had POTS? I don't really think that I'm in any position to give dating advice, to be honest with you. Yeah. Would I want to know? I don't know. It's not really like a deal breaker for me, I guess it would depend. I feel like, POTS isn't a deadly thing. I don't know. Maybe. It's like kind of the same thing with politics, right? Like, I don't need to know your political views right away. And I would say that if you have it pretty well managed and under control and you haven't built a rapport with the person, yeah, it'd probably not be a first date thing. But yeah, again, I don't really think that I'm in any position to give like dating advice in that sense. I think for guys, I can give a little bit better dating advice, but definitely not with chronic illness. I'm sorry, Veronica. It's not really my thing. You guys, I posted the link. I'm going to pin it. And I'm going to stay on for a couple more minutes. But I pinned the link to the community. Go join the community. Adam, Lobster, Squid, go put yourselves into the community. Start talking to the people in there. There's not that many people in there right now, but yeah, we're trying to build it up. So that's why I might make this free for a little bit longer, the community forum. But I want more like-minded people in there that can talk every day, building community around each other with each other that want to see progression. Veronica, you're welcome to go in there too. Jazan, yesterday, I know we talked and it wasn't, and it wasn't letting you get in. I'm going to try to figure that out, but you guys go join that community. Be a part of what we're doing. I want to build something very positive for people to be a part of. So. Oh, look at that. I can make the trial period 14 days. I'm going to do that. 14-day trial. Go check it out. Definitely going to do it. I miss my strength and endurance working on it, and it won't stop. Love that, dude. Love that. So full transparency, the workout program is like in the beta stage right now. It's what I know works for people who are like sick. People like this is, I approach it the same way that I approach people who are bedridden or house ridden in the beginning. So the first 2 weeks, if you already have some workout experience, stuff like that, it's going to feel really slow. And it's like that on purpose because I want people who don't have any prior, experience or who need help just building habits surrounding POTS and who may be very sick. So I made it very slow and very progressive. So just keep that in mind. If you have more workout experience, definitely feel free to do what you do. But yeah, I'm basically, we're in that community often. Mike is a big contributor to that community. And that's Mickey in the chat. He's a big contributor to the community. And he's in there often. He's talking about his wins. And that's what I want people to do. Talk about your wins. Help big each other up. Lift each other up. That's what this is all about. And why is there a fee associated with it, like later on, the 14 days? Because I think that you tend to value things that there's a fee with, and there is a service in there too. It's the workout program. And if you need more help, you like if you're a part of the community, you can schedule discounted one-on-one consults with me. You can also do one-on-one coaching with me as well. That's another package that I offer. But if you need that, then we get on a consult call and we talk, because I do offer one-on-one coaching. I think that's the preferred method for most people, one-on-one coaching, but I do have this track that you can follow online, plus the forum, the community. Either way you get in the forum or community, whether you're a one-on-one client or not. Are there any POTS habits you like that are not standard? I don't know. I can't freaking read some of the chat because of this reaction thing. Are there any POTS habits that you like that are not standard? Salts, compression, food, and movement. Yeah, I think having a step count every day is very important. I think that's the one thing that I don't see talked about a lot is a step count, because the steps really add up over time. Like you saw Adam earlier in the chat talked about how his step count went from like 17K in a month to 180 or something, 170, 190. I forget what it was, but 17K to 190 steps per month. That adds up onto your fitness a lot over time. So I think a step count is very important. I don't do compression. I never did. I was suggested that, but I don't do that. Hydration, in the sense that you need to have kind of a formula for how much sodium compared to liquid you intake. So sodium to water ratio is very important. That's a habit. Habits like spacing out your meals at certain times, figuring out the meal timing that works for you. Some people need more time in between meals, and a lot of people need more frequent meals when it comes to POTS, I've noticed. Staying away from simple sugars, that's a habit that I think is very useful, that type of stuff. So yeah. All right, guys, I got to go work out. I hope that, oh wait. Do you have opinions on nutritional supplements to help with POTS and exercising, like certain vitamins? I have opinions. I have opinions for sure. I'm trying to figure out how to say this where it's not going to be detrimental. I think your supplements highly depend on your blood work and your genes. I think that that's what it highly depends on. I've really changed my mind about this recently. When some people say that supplements can't harm you, that's not true. Especially in the sense that some supplements can cause you major anxiety, and you may not even know that it's a supplement that you are taking that's causing that. So the things that I've noticed on average that tend to help people, creatine. Creatine helps, hydrating the cell, helps pull water into the muscle, which gets you a little bit more hydrated. I recommend 10 grams a day. It's probably different from what you have heard, the 5 grams a day. I think 10 grams a day. There's a lot of research. Well, not a lot of research. There's a good amount of data that's come out that says 10 grams a day is really good for cognitive function as well as building muscle. And most people, to be honest with you, don't eat that kind of that amount of meat to get that much creatine. A lot of people actually don't even eat enough meat to get the recommended daily dose of 5 grams a day. So I say 10 grams a day is very good. I think depending on your gene status, I think homocysteine is one blood marker that a lot of people with POTS have not really paid a lot of attention to. And depending on what your homocysteine levels are at, B vitamins are crucial. And some people metabolize B vitamins differently. So I think that, I'm not going to get super into that because I don't want people to take advice or take what I do and run with it, because it could not work for them. So yeah, I think that the minimum amount of sodium somebody should be, like supplemental sodium that people should be taking in per day on average, seems to be around 3 to 4 grams. So if you're not doing that for sure, 3 to 4 grams, 3 to 4,000 milligrams of sodium comes out to 3 to 4 grams. So that's about it, guys. That's about it. So if you guys have any questions about the community, I haven't seen anybody get in there yet. If you have any questions on the community, If you have any questions on the program or whatever, feel free to DM me. Feel free to reach out. Ask whatever questions you might have concerns about. And yeah, I'll answer back. Thank you guys so much for watching this. If you haven't already, please like this video. It helps push the algorithm. Please subscribe if you are new. If you're new here, which I'm assuming that most of you are not new here, but actually my analytics would tell me otherwise, that people have been finding the channel. We just got to 897 subs. We have 3 more until 900, and then we only have 100 to go for 1K, for 1,000. So I'm super pumped. I'm happy to be doing this. I can't wait to talk to you guys tomorrow. We'll probably go live at like 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. So if you guys want, come hop in on that. See you guys in the forum. See you in the community. Remember, it's pinned here. I think it's linked in my bio. That's it. Thanks so much for watching. Peace out. See you in the next one. Goodbye.